Yeah. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to Why?
Why? Because
Because
we
we
said
said
so.
so. I'm Jamie,
And I'm Sonia.
and we want to welcome you all to our show where we just talk about social media stuff and give our personal opinions,
Yes,
which we think
because we
hold a
are
lot
so
of
do.
weight, but it really doesn't hold any weight.
Right. We just like to talk.
We just like to talk. So, anyway, Sonia always is in charge of telling us what we're talking about. And so, ta da! Boom!
Ta-da! Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you all. And I'm going to tell y'all now. This one is, I always say they're interesting, but this one is really interesting because it really opens up a lot of questions about husbands, wives, and what is his, what is hers, what belongs to the household, and we'll just let you all join us and you tell us. Okay, here we go. Uh, okay.
Crackhead, you spent $10,000 off my credit card?
Yeah.
What you mean, yeah?
I had to pay my mama rent. She was backed up like 5 months. I just paid it off.
But that's not my problem. And I only have a 10K balance on my credit card, so you took all the money off my credit card.
I'm gonna put it back. Simple. You weren't even supposed to find out.
You can't just put it back.
What you mean I can't just put it back? I can transfer it from my phone.
And my credit score is gonna drop.
Okay, so what I gotta do to boost it?
Not take money off my credit card. Like your mother is not my responsibility.
I understand. She's my responsibility.
Okay, so you should have used your money.
Your money is my money. My
No,
money is your money.
no. That credit card has my name.
I had to deposit the money into the account to pay the bill. I could not give them cash.
That doesn't even make sense.
Either way, you're gonna get the money deposited. I do it first thing in the morning. Like, what's the problem? What's the issue?
I'm gonna report fraud, and your mother's just gonna have to get evicted.
She gonna get evicted. It's paid.
It don't matter. I'm gonna report fraud because you was never supposed to use my credit card.
But I'm putting the money back.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Girl, that thing annoys my soul every time I see it. It annoys my whole soul. Seriously. The fact that, first off, he couldn't tell her that he used the card because, as we can see, she's a whole mess, which is sad because he should have told her, look, I'm going to use the card. I'll put the money back. I'll pay it off. Obviously, money isn't an issue if he can pay $10,000 for his mama's rent and that not affect their household or his household, because it's obviously they are not where two and one have joined together. That is not a thought in their head, obviously. It just kind of broke my heart. I mean, I'm like, really? I'm going to report fraud not only on my husband but on his mother? I mean, like this is a snowball effect. This isn't just I'm going to report fraud. I mean, because if you report fraud on that credit card, it's going to reverse everything. I mean, like, wow. I do not. I don't know. I was married for a long time, and I always believed I was I was rooted in Christ. I studied the Bible. I went to church, Christian, non-denominational, whatever. I always believed that marriage two becomes one. And if we're operating as one, this would not even be up for discussion. I mean, it really makes me sad that she would even go to that length. Even to the fact that the man is like, well, I'm gonna put it back in there tomorrow morning. Like, I could not pay cash. She doesn't even know you can't go to a rent office with $10,000 of cash, you know. And not only that, then my credit score, is that on you? I mean, like, where are our values anymore? Where is the family? I mean, I don't know. The whole thing threw me for a loop. It really did. It just upset my whole soul. Seriously.
And see, this is the thing. So my thing is, at the beginning, So I fought him for not telling her. That's the
Absolutely.
only thing I'm mad at him for. I fought
Absolutely.
you for not telling her because you should never have used, because that's a lot of money.
Right.
So you should not put out that much money from your household without telling your spouse.
Correct.
That part I don't agree with what he should have did. I understand you taking care of your mother because you better take care of your mother.
Right.
She obviously doesn't understand, like you said, you cannot take $10,000 up to somewhere and just hand it to somebody. You cannot do that. That's a no.
Right.
You have
I
to do
agree.
something.
I agree.
So her thinking that this is going to affect her credit again means you don't know how credit works, because if he's going to pay it right off, it's not even going to have time to
Right.
even sit
Right. Right.
on her credit. So why are you even worried about your credit? Again, now, and then you're talking about, I'm going to report fraud and say your mom is going to get evicted. I'm
Right.
like, you done lost your cotton picking mind.
Girl.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, that was, man, I was just disappointed.
Right.
When I say I was totally disappointed in her, I get it. I mean, like, let's have the discussion. But even if we have the discussion, the end result is I'm going to make sure my mother doesn't get evicted unless we moving her up in here.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
it's
period.
like, babe, I'm just coming to tell you,
right,
that I'm getting ready to use the card,
right,
because, like,
because it don't
with me
matter
and
what you
LeVert,
say.
like, whatever card I have, he has a card, I have a card, you know, and we talk to each other about any purchases we're gonna make with this card, you
Right.
know, like,
Right.
if and stuff, and it's so weird to me that she has this card, and I don't know if he has his own of card to her account, and that's how he was able to do it, or if
Right.
he actually went and got her card and did it. But either way, you
It's obvious.
be mad at him. Be mad at him. Say, "Hun, I'm so mad at you. You should have talked to me. You know, make sure you put this money back. Da da da. I'm glad your mama didn't get put out, because you know I don't want my dukes out on the street. But you know you should have talked to me. And that should be the end. Be mad at him for a week and
Right.
move on.
A week, lady, get over yourself.
I'm giving her a week.
Mama.
I'm just gonna give her a week.
That is that man's mother. First off, obviously he has a decent relationship with his mother. The mother probably knew this wife is a psychopath, so she didn't even want to tell him. When he finds out that his mother is struggling to pay her rent and stuff, he steps up to the plate. Obviously, there's no trust in the household for whatever reason, you know, because she literally was like, I don't care if you're replacing it tomorrow. You shouldn't have never touched it. Lady, tomorrow?
Right.
Tomorrow?
What is your problem?
Lady, what kind of credit card do you have? Because check this out. You should be getting some points on it. So you should be happy.
Girl, let me tell y'all.
Sir, you could have used my
credit card. They told me if I spend a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, I'm going to get these Delta Sky miles.
Right.
I paid for that. I used that card to pay for some stuff, and then I went right back and paid it off in cash. I didn't get any type of interest charges on me because I went back and paid it off in cash. But I got my points.
Exactly.
I got my Sky Miles.
I mean, she is worried about the wrong thing. And it's really sad that in marriages nowadays, and I'm not going to say all, because of course you can't say all on anything, but I think they focus on the wrong things so much. Money is seriously a serious thing in marriages, of course. And I wouldn't care what it is. It could be a roommate situation, and it's going to be something that needs to be discussed, you know, but money is always going to be, because you got two people that, you know, we don't know your spending habits until we come together as one, right? Because we can say anything, but when we come together as one and we looking at credit reports and we trying to buy stuff, and all of a sudden you can't buy nothing, or I say give me 5 G's and you looking at me like, what am I gonna get 5 G's from? You know,
right?
So, you know, we don't know any of this until we really get in the thick of things, right? But the thing is, that's where we need to work together. You know, we need to, because I might have 50 G's in the bank. You might not even have $500 in the bank. But we got to come together and discuss how we going to run the household. We have to. How we going to say, because running a household is more than paying bills. It's how you save. It's how, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. And the fact that you would get that worked up where you're even trying to get the man in trouble, because reporting fraud is going to be a problem. You know,
right. That's even more so than just getting somebody evicted.
Yeah, now you're involved in the law because they can trace that right back to
right.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think I was talking to someone earlier, similar to not this situation, but in the lines of money and marriage. And I think social media has gotten people so worked up in their head on this soft living, and I'm not going to pay any bills, and my man got to pay all the bills and all this. I see it every day on social media. Every single day I see it on social media. Unless your man is a millionaire, you need to be helping with some bills.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Unless he's a millionaire. Guys, if you are not making 7 digits, have her pay something. I don't give a rat's butt what it is. Because if you're not invested in your household, it's not going to work. You don't care. You got to care. There is no way I would work. I told the guy when I first moved to Atlanta, I had a job. I transferred from one job to Atlanta. We were in California, transferred over. Rocky didn't come with the job. He didn't work. You think I was sitting up there going, you lazy, you ain't work. We knew this going in. He wasn't going to work. Guess what? He handled all the kids' stuff. You know, he did the hair, made the breakfast. He did all, because I was at work. I had a job to go to. He was at home. And then when he did go to work, we both did it. I was kind of liking it when he was at home.
So we need to back this back up.
Yeah. Like, honey, you didn't like stay at home, honey? I'm definitely not the stay-at-home mom type. But, you know, we worked it out. We never had not one argument about you're not working or you're not, you know, we made it work. There is no way in the world that you can sit back and your husband is working, for lack of a better, factory, post office, Amazon. He's going to need help. He's going to need help. I pat the brother on the back. He had 10 grand to give his mama.
Okay.
Girl, bye.
And I'm gonna tell you this too now. I'm kind of mad at the mama too, because mama don't let yourself get to a point where you're about to get evicted where it's gonna cost $10,000. Because by the time you get to that point, there's court costs and a whole lot of stuff involved that you could have got taken care of a lot earlier. So mama,
and that's probably
make
a lot
sure
of what he had to pay.
Right. So mama needs to speak up too.
So, for sure.
Yeah. So that wife, girl, I'm so upset with her, because people nowadays treat marriage and finances and stuff more like a partnership.
Right.
They treat it like a partnership as opposed to a marriage, because people have told him, you know, like you could see stuff and the first thing somebody say is, don't mix your finances. Don't mix your finances. That's the one thing. Don't mix your... Why not?
Yeah, because when you want a house or a car or whatever, now you want to mix the finances. And then I'm going to be like, no, we ain't mixing nothing. Figure it out. Now I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, you cannot, you know, you come together and to grow. You know, really. Anything that don't grow is dead. It's just simple as that. You come together to grow. And the only way we can grow is to sit down, come up with a game plan, and grow. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know, girl. I was just so, I mean, I still, even seeing that now, it's just so sad to me. There is no way that I could be, and people do what they do all day long. I hear you. Everybody got separate bank accounts. Don't nobody want the husband to know. I cannot imagine laying down in the bed with a man every day. And I say a man because that ain't husband stuff y'all talking about. Laying in the bed with a man every night and trusting that he's going to protect me when I can't even tell him I got $10,000 in the bank. Like,
Right.
what is the money issue? Like, sir, I'm trusting you with my whole life, and I can't tell you how much money I got because I don't trust you over here. Something's wrong with this picture. I trust you enough to lay down and bury your children, but I can't tell you I got money in the bank. You know, I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, and I know I'm old school, and my thinking is obviously old school. There is no way. I'm gonna lay down, close my eyes at night, and trust that you ain't gonna kill me. And I can't say, yeah, I got 20 in the bank. What's up? What we need? What we talking about? Because all you got to do is talk about it. No, I don't want to use the 20 for that. Maybe we can come up with a solution if you need 20. You know, that's what marriage is. It's compromise.
Exactly.
You know, I think the man was scared to say something to the lady, and he figured he put it back before she even knew.
Right.
That's
he said
what
he
I
wasn't
think.
even supposed to find out.
Right. He
So
was like,
he was gonna get a chance. But this is the thing now. Now he should have known too that she was gonna find out. Because even if he paid it back and paid it down, when she got her statement, she was gonna see the charges.
but by then it'd have been
But
paid
I guess
off.
by
So
then he'd have been like, "Oh, it's old now. I ain't worried about it now."
he's like, I'm gonna put it back in the morning. I mean, he was so serious. I was like, he's like, I mean, in the morning, it's going back. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, wow. You know, I don't know. I really think that we have got to, you know, get a better insight on what real marriage is.
Let me play this video again because I really do believe this man is standing at the sink.
He
I think
is.
he's washing dishes.
He is.
Hold on.
Beckett, you spent $10,000 off my credit card?
Ain't he in the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
What you mean, yeah?
I had to pay my mama rent. She was backed up like 5 months. I just paid it off.
But that's not my problem. And I only have a 10K balance on my credit card, so you took all the money off my credit card.
I'm gonna put it back. Simple. You weren't even supposed to find out.
You can't just put it back.
What you mean I can't just put it back? I can transfer it from my phone.
And my credit score is gonna drop.
Okay, so what I gotta do to boost it?
Not take money off my credit card. Like your mother is not my responsibility.
I understand. She's my responsibility.
Okay, so you should have used your money.
Your money is my money. My
No.
money is your money.
That credit card has my name.
I had to deposit the money into the account to pay the bill. I could not give them cash.
That doesn't even make sense.
Either way, you're going to get the money deposited. I do it first thing in the morning. Like, what's the problem? What's the issue?
I'm gonna report fraud, and your mother's just gonna have to get evicted.
She gonna get evicted. It's paid.
It don't matter. I'm gonna report fraud because you was never supposed to use my credit card.
But I'm putting the money back.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Wait. So something I picked up on, which I didn't before, is the little thing in the corner, this little red thing. And it reads, your parents are not your responsibility. You cannot put your family at risk to take care of your parents. I know some parents like to make their kids feel guilty about raising them. This is what they're supposed to do.
Oh, that's what the guy who posted the video
Right.
said. Oh, he's
This
an
is
idiot.
This is what I'm saying. This is the thought process of these people. This is crazy. This is crazy. The lady wasn't trying to make him feel guilty. She ain't even tell him. She was probably sitting over there trying to figure out how she was going to do it. And then come to find out, she's late. She's behind, way behind now. It wasn't like she was coming in going to pay my rent every month. See, this is the mentality of these. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me. And I guess it's really weird to me since I live with my children.
Well, you know,
Right.
like my mom lives with me, but my mama has never like asked me for anything. You know, like,
Right.
I've never had to do anything for her, but you know, like we make sure she gets to her appointments and things
Right.
like that. But I don't see how you could say that your parents are not your responsibility because yes, they are. I mean, what do you mean? That was crazy to me. It's like, why would you even have kids and then you not be?
Girl, it's
You said, was
crazy.
he wrong? I think so. So my son said, was the guy wrong? I think the guy was wrong that he did not communicate with his wife what he was planning to do. I don't think he was wrong for doing it.
Right.
I think he just needed to communicate with her, because if my mother was about to get evicted, I'm going to move hell or high water to make
Period.
sure that she does not get evicted. I'm going to be
Period.
mad at her because she
Right.
didn't tell me 2 or 3 months back before we got to this point, but I'm still going to make sure that she doesn't get evicted.
And I'm on the fence about whether he was wrong. Even though I do believe he was wrong, I'm kind of wishy-washy on it because of the fact that he knew how this lady was going to act. He knew
That's why because that's why he
that,
didn't tell her.
yeah. So that's the bad part. You know, I want to just emphatically go, he was wrong, period. Sir, you should have told her, you know, what was happening. But he knew how she was going to trip. He already said, you wasn't even supposed to know. It was going to be back in the account tomorrow. You back to zero balance, you know. So, he's wrong, but he's not wrong as far as I'm concerned. He know he married. Unfortunately, it's too late. Now you're married, you know. But if I think when people get so caught up, like I live with my daughter. They wanted me to move here. You know, they said, Mom, come move here. You don't have to pay any bills. I want you to live your life. I'm like, hey, that sounds like a win-win. No, I didn't. I really didn't. I was like, no, I'm good. And they were like, no, we want you here. And so I moved here. Do I participate? I mean, do I help? I do what I can. I do little stuff. I take care of the yard. You know, I do stuff to at least say, lift some burden, right?
Right.
But I know for a fact that if I was in a situation where my rent wasn't getting paid, my children would come in. And I'm thankful that my daughter has a husband that it's not even a thought. He'd probably be the first one going, moms need this, you know, before my daughter is even aware. You know, like, are you sure you checked in there on your mama? Because she, you know, look like she ain't eating in there. You know?
Look, your mama been quiet, girl. You need to go down there and check on your mama.
Right, girl, because you know I say in my room, I don't be coming out. You know, but I'm a bedroom person, so they do have to do that. That's funny. Like, lady, are you still breathing in there? You know, but I know that if I was in a situation that they would help me out. And I'm thankful that it would not be somebody having to sneak to help. You know, that's terrible to even feel like that. You should not have to sneak and help your mom or your dad out. That's just sad to me.
Right. And I could see if it was a difference where, like, you had that parent that was just always big and just always big
right.
and always big and wasn't trying to do nothing, but just
right.
always big and always up in your house, always in your business, always, you know. Now that's, I know where you can be like, look, now I understand when you know, you got to have some boundaries then. You know, you got to have some kind of boundaries. But if you have, like, I even feel like his mom, maybe that's why she never even told him till it got so late. It's because she didn't want to burden him, and she was probably trying to figure out a way to get it done on her own. Because, you know, that's what I would probably do. I would probably be that parent that would, you know, be trying my best because I'm always used to doing my own thing to get stuff, you know, to find a way till he would be my last resort.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I think that's probably what the mom did, especially based on the wife, because I'm telling you right now, that wife is something else. And you can tell. I mean, the guy was so, his whole demeanor was just like, you know, like, dang, you know, I mean, like, you wasn't even supposed to know. Like, literally, it would be back in there in the morning. Like, you, like, leave me alone. Let me wash these dishes. Go chill, because you could tell ladies, get off the, ooh, girl.
But you know what, too? I bet you if that was her mama, I bet you if that was her parent,
of course,
she would have ran to take care of her parent, and she would have been mad at him if he would have came at her the same way she came at him.
Oh, of course. And she would have used that same credit card and not said a word.
Exactly.
Be clear.
And then expected him to pay it off to take care, to make sure her credit didn't suffer. That girl said her score gonna drop. Girl, you don't know nothing about credit scores.
Exactly. Girl, what are you talking about? The man's paying the thing tomorrow before the credit bureau even know it happened.
Exactly.
What are
so you gonna get your reward points from that $10,000
Thank you.
And you're going to get it paid off, and you ain't going to have to pay no interest.
Girl, I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. I just think that people really need to first off, get off social media if you're being affected mentally by it, because a lot of y'all are. I mean, really, you just are. I literally, I went down to the VA today and I needed to get another credit card. I mean, credit card, ID card. And the guy, I mean, he's just talking. And no, he was from Michigan. He said, his wife is from Southfield. He was from Muskegon, I guess. I don't know. So I was like, oh, okay. And he said, I said, oh, your wife? I said, how'd y'all end up here? And got into a little conversation. And he said, shoot, we've been divorced. And he said, we've been divorced twice. I said, like you and your wife? Like separate time, like you got divorced? He's like, no, we divorced and married each other. We're on the third marriage to each other.
Okay.
I was like, what? I mean, like, huh? And he said this, and I had to laugh because I'm like, oh my God, because I knew exactly what he was talking about, which is terrible. He said, you know, she's an AKA. He said, you know what that is? I said, well, of course I know what that is. And he goes, you know how that go? And I started laughing because they get so caught up in all of this stuff and all that everybody doing over there and all of this, and divorced her husband. Then when things didn't come raining down like you thought, and all the men didn't come running after you or whatever, then she came back. Then they did it again. Then he said they're about to get married for the third time.
That's a shame.
I looked at him. I said, good luck on your third marriage. I mean, like, what do you even say?
So he must really love her.
Girl, obviously. I think they kind of grew up together or something because they from the same area, you know. I was like, this is crazy. Like, who does this? But I'm telling you, these people get caught up in social media BS. And I see it all day long. Social media, and honey, if he ain't doing it, honey, and I go right in there and go, baby, I guarantee you she don't have a man. Don't mess up your marriage listening to this fool. You know, because people are, I mean, you get so caught up in your mind. I mean, I don't know. It's just sad. It's sad out here in these streets.
Yeah, well, go ahead and give us your 30 seconds.
My 30 seconds is stay off of social media when it pertains to your marriage. That's all I got. Well, aren't you proud of me?
I am surprised.
Right.
Well, my 30 seconds is take care of your parents. The Bible even tells you to honor your parents. But communicate with your spouse. You know, that's the one thing I can say I've been blessed with, because my mama can say sometimes, she said, Levert take better care of her than I do. So,
right. Right.
So, you know, just, you know, take care of them, because, you know, you're going to regret when they're gone, and you know you didn't do what you could do. So, you know, don't be foolish when it comes to your parents. Just take care of them. So that's what I have. And when can they see us again next week, Jamie?
7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. No, I'm all off. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I haven't messed up like that in a long time. Anyway, see y'all later. And remember, marriage is where two becomes one.
That's right.